Return, number 36. You know as well as I do that comforting words don't make life any easier.
Ilias? Why?
You two are just as arrogant as Alhaitham. You think that everyone should be like you and live according to their own truths. But you don't realize that most people simply want easy lives. I allowed number 36 to leave the hive without his memories only because I knew he would eventually return. This proves that I know more about human nature than you do. Alhaitham, do say a word or two. I will consider them as your last.
I made those words quite clear a year ago. The model you presented was extremely unstable. No amount of garish packaging will change its fragile nature. It can't be helped. If you were clever enough to realize those problems, then you would have been aware that the hive changed when Ilias returned to this collective consciousness of yours.
What?
What's happening?
The collective needs motivation to execute its plans, just as machinery requires energy to operate. That's why you, as the Overmind, synchronized your hatred of me into the collective, prompting them to create and execute a plan to eliminate me. However, when Ilias returned to the collective, his memories and emotions were shared with the rest of its members. This includes his perception of me.
Thanks for that. You know, you don't seem like such a bad person. Strange, isn't it? Why did I have those thoughts at that time?
This contradicts the hatred you had provided them, and these two differing emotions will give rise to new conflict.
So that's it. Wait, so you knew that Ilias would return to the hive? And then you pretended to keep him around just to fool Siraj. Wouldn't expect any less from you, Alhaitham. Once the collective consciousness bugs out, we'll take that opportunity to... Wait. It's back to normal already.
Alhaitham, I told you. You're too arrogant. Did you really think that your little scheme would be enough to destabilize the hive? Ilias's return had indeed introduced abnormal emotions into the hive, but such a meager drop cannot give rise to waves. Your struggle has been in vain, and it's time to end it. Allow me to show you what makes the collective consciousness so formidable.
So many monsters. Where did they come from? And something feels off about them.
I also integrated monsters into the collective, though I ranked them last. Even so, they are part of it. Despite their lack of intelligence, perfect cooperation can be achieved, much like soldiers who have undergone strict training. Now then, drown in endless waves of monsters. You will all pay for your ceaseless arrogance.
Hey, Alhaitham? Your plan didn't work, so what do we do now?
I've already sent my gift to the collective. It'll take some time for the recipient to receive it. You two just need to brace yourselves for the nuisance in front of us.
Well, all right. Paimon doesn't know how you get so confident, but we'll hold them off for as long as we can.
Flicker. Diffract.
Alhaitham isn't that of a person.
But it has to be done. He must be eliminated so that we can evolve.
You see? That is the will of the collective. Even with the hatred gone, they continue their work. An external anomaly cannot shake the collective stability.
it's over.
Germinate!
He won't hold out for much longer.
He's a lot tougher than we imagined.
Something's gone wrong with the Academia. The mantra.
What's going on? What's with this sudden influx of information? Silence! As the Overmind, I command you!
Busted. Gotcha. Things are about to get dicey. Witness the power of Gua. Rain outlines your
Spring forth!
power that ended height.
How is that possible? Why hasn't it been resolved yet?
Error in our judgment?
The will of the collective cannot be wrong. The Overmind must have made an error in his judgment.
But Siraj is the most intelligent among us. He is number one. His judgment is the optimal one.
Here you are.
What have you done?
Calm down. Don't you have an easy way to figure this out? You were only designated as number 36. What a shame. From what I can see, your talents merit a smaller number. Putting aside the validity of the data, it is meaningless to judge individuals based solely on their jnana energy.
What you said to Ilias has now become a memory shared by all members of the Hive. I see it now! You've channeled and amplified their selfish desires! You're trying to destroy my Hive from the inside out!
Human minds are not infinitely pliable, and your Hive has stretched many of them to their limit. Once your authority as Overmind starts to wane, it won't be long before your subjects snap back. Is it worth living here like a machine? Being a tool for the rest of my life? As soon as one person begins to have these thoughts, selfishness, doubt, and fear will propagate, thanks to the web of consciousness that you built. At this stage, your so-called Hive has already fallen.
It's not over yet. I am the Overmind! There has to be a way!
It's too late. Once the desires of the Hive accumulate, beyond a certain threshold, they will kill their king.
Wouldn't have suffered such a disgraceful defeat if I was the Overmind.
My numbers shouldn't be so far down in the list. Siraj is alive!
This isn't what we agreed to!
I should be the one in your position!
The Hive shut down? What happened just now?
Members of a collective consciousness are more likely to reach a consensus because of their shared memories and emotions. For example, Ilias did have differing perceptions, but he ultimately followed the collective consciousness's judgment. However, this system is far from perfect. Based on this logic, the collective consciousness will generate an intractable diffusion effect upon encountering negative emotions. The disturbance that Ilias caused wasn't for naught. It made the collective question the Overmind.
Setbacks in the plan further amplify doubt, which diminishes the Overmind's influence. This inevitably causes the collective to generate negative emotions.
Apprehension, disappointment, panic, avarice. These negative emotions can be very well hidden, as humans generally do not share completely transparent channels of communication. But in the hive, where there are no secrets, negativity can spread like a tidal wave. Of course, what I said to Ilias was the trigger for all of this. A few words were enough. Believe in the power of words, Siraj.
You were already thinking of a way to destroy the collective consciousness. Even back then. You knew that Ilias was the bait all along. But how did you know? Since when?
I knew it from the moment I saw him. Moreover, I never looked down on you. My opinion of you has always been objective. You have a naive view towards the concepts of collective consciousness and human evolution, but you are intelligent and disciplined. You would never let a test subject escape. Mistakes like that are beneath you, and you also won't leave any mistake without a resolution.
I never thought I'd hear those words come from you. But if you're saying that out of sympathy, spare me. I know very well that you've never viewed me as an equal. When you were with us, you always had a distant look in your eyes. You don't need to hide it. I know it better than anyone else. The arrogance that comes with being a genius. Nobody likes being treated like that.
Your perspective is entirely born from your habitual way of looking at things. From your perspective, you probably think I'm like you, someone who doesn't fit in. However, I've never placed myself on a pedestal. I just want to distance myself from meaningless noise and look at everything objectively. On the other hand, you have failed to come to terms with who you truly are. You care too much about winning and how others perceive you.
You mean to say that I'm the arrogant one here?
Is that not so? Arrogant and emotionally fragile. You view people as a simple, mediocre collective, while you regard me as one of your kind.
Regardless, I have lost. You can take me back to the academia to stand trial.
You will stand trial, yes. But arresting people isn't in my job description. I'm just an ordinary staff member. I believe it is the General Mahamatra's duty to escort you away.
Sino? What are you doing here?
I followed the symbols. Looks like things have already been settled.
Symbols?
I left a similar picture in my letter to him, and I made several similar symbols on the way here.
Wait, what do you mean you left a letter? Oh, Paimon remembers! When Paimon first saw you, Arav said that you had left a letter for Sino. So you really did know that something was up with Ilias from the start! You lied to us too!
It'd be best if you didn't spout nonsense. I never employed any mode of trickery on you. By the way, I came across some information at the academia a few days ago. If you practice the method discussed therein, your vision may improve. Do you need it?
Seriously? This guy. By the way, Sino, Paimon heard that Siraj sent more people to the academia. We can't let those jerks get away!
Don't worry. The Matra have started screening suspicious persons, and we've already arrested many of Siraj's associates. This was likely one factor that caused the Hive's consciousness to waver. Everything went as you predicted, Alhaitham.
Good. Seems like the interesting part is already over. I'll leave the arrests to you all. See you.
And off he goes. There still are a lot of test subjects here, so let's stick around for a while.